Yes, welcome back. We'll go to say the next mirroring operating modes. We'll see internally how the mirroring is working. Basically, remember in case of mirroring, we have two operating modes are there, synchronous and asynchronous operating modes. Synchronous and asynchronous. Check here. First one is the synchronous operating mode is there, which is also called as high safety mode. High safety means we can say indirectly there is no data loss. Okay, so check here again in synchronous again we have two modes are there. One is high availability is there where we have three servers, principal, mirror, witness here. High availability. High availability means what? Tomorrow if any server is down, principal is down, automatically mirror becomes principal. That means what? Automatic failover is there. It's meaning. High availability means what? Automatic failover is there. Okay. Why? Because we have three servers here, principal, mirror, and witness. Okay. But here tomorrow, unexpectedly, this witness server is down. Unexpectedly, principal is there, mirror is there, but witness is down. In general, remember, without witness server, there is no automatic failover. There is no automatic failover. That's why remember, like it will change to yeah. So it will change to say like high protection mode. Okay, automatically it will change to what? High protection mode. Okay, so means what? If witness server is down unexpectedly, it will change to high protection mode where we have principal and mirror servers. Only principal and mirror servers. Okay, like okay, so that is it. Like we have only principal and mirror. That's why remember if witness is down unexpectedly, so it will change to high protection mode. Here in high protection modes here, high protection is there. There is no data loss, but no automatic failovers. No automatic failover. Means what? Tomorrow if principal is down, mirror will not come online. Manually we have to bring this mirror online by running 1-2 commands. No need to take tail log backup actually. We'll see. Okay, that is like no automatic failover is there in case of yeah, witness server. Correct. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Right. So that is like witness principal, mirror, witness actually. Okay, but remember in case of synchronous mirroring, what is happening? Sometimes performance issue may be there. That's why we can switch to asynchronous mirroring also. Not high safety, safety off mode, but high performance mode. Here also we have only two servers here, principal and mirror only. Here also no automatic failover. Only remember, only in synchronous mode with three servers, principal, mirror, and witness, only we have automatic failover. Okay, there is no automatic failover in other two modes. That's remember always in real time. So we are making our yeah, mirroring setup is there with three servers here, principal, mirror, and witness. Mirroring setup is there with three servers, principal, mirror, and witness in general. So that if principal is down, automatically mirror becomes principal. Users can continue their transaction. We also know, let's say user is making some transaction, immediately principal is down. Okay, user will get the error message, your transaction failed, retry. Okay, once the user click on retry button, once the user clicks on retry button, now transaction success. Why? Because mirror has become principal. Immediately it starts processing the queries. That is see, such type of slight disturbance is there. Okay, so uh, yeah, that is like such type of slight disturbance is there. Yeah, right. So yeah, we'll see now diagrammatically again what is synchronous and asynchronous mode. Take care. In case of synchronous mirroring, whenever the user submits the transaction, okay, yeah, request is submitted to what application server, right? Whenever the user makes transaction, request is submitted to application server. Okay, yeah, application server. Uh, yeah, then say like what is happening? This application server will submit the request to what principal servers. Here. Application server will submit the request to principal server, which is our production server. Only we know by default SQL Server will make changes in buffer cache, then it will write into log file, transaction log file. Okay, okay. Once the changes are written into principal database log file, immediately these changes are submitted to mirror, and mirror also will write changes into log file. Clear, right? Mirror also will submit the changes. What mirror yeah, submits the changes to yeah, it will apply the changes to the log file. Once the changes are applied to the log file successfully, then mirror is sending the acknowledgement back to principal. Okay, changes are written successfully into the log file. Now principal is responding to the users. Okay? Till that application is waiting for acknowledgement. Means what? Once the user gets acknowledgement, okay, your transaction success. Okay, your transaction success. Then what will happen? What its meaning? Changes are written in principal database log file successfully, as well as it is written into mirror also. Here, after writing in both the databases successfully, then only user is getting the acknowledgement. That's why we are calling it as a safety full mode. Why? Because even like tomorrow, this principal database crash, no problem. No need to take tail log backup. No need to apply. Why? Because already changes are applied here. After applying to mirror only, user is getting acknowledgement. Correct, right? That's why whenever this failure happen, immediately this database comes online so that users can continue their work. Why? Because no pending logs are there here, right? No need to apply tail log backup. So that is the reason we have automatic failover. That's why we are calling it as synchronous mode is also called as a safety full mode. This synchronous mode is also called as what? Safety full mode. Clear, right? Okay. So that is like a safety full mode is it? Yeah, yeah. So like understood, right? Safety full mode and see. That's why remember here there is no data loss scenario in mirroring we have seen. Which type of mirroring we have to understand? Synchronous mirroring. Okay, okay. Check here after that, greater than 2 after writing changes into log file at any time changes are written into what data file. After writing changes into log file, changes are written into data file. That is by default. Remember, mirroring may be there, may not be there. Already you know. Here after 3 changes are written into data file by check file process. And already we have seen here the database is there in online state. Here it is there in restoring state. Restoring states here. Okay. Restoring state. Right. Right. So that's like both the states we can see. Online state we can see here only restoring state. Okay. Two types of yeah. Then okay. Okay. Check here this principal mirror and witness. Principal mirror and witness. These servers will talk with each other through something called endpoint. Endpoint. Endpoint is nothing but remember TCP port number. Endpoint is there. Endpoint is nothing but what? TCP port number. By default, endpoint is there 5022. Default endpoint in mirroring is what? 5022. Default endpoint in mirroring. Clear, right? Default endpoint in mirroring is what? 5022. We can choose any other endpoint also, but default is 5022. And check here, like here witness server is compulsory for automatic failover. Without witness servers here, there is no automatic failover. Okay, right. But in synchronous mirroring, what is happening? After taking acknowledgement from mirror, then principal is responding to the user, right? That's why in some scenarios, when the huge transactions are going on, in some scenarios, remember, if huge transactions are going on, in synchronous mirroring, users may experience some performance issues, right? Why? Because changes should be committed both sides, principal as well as mirror. Then only user is getting acknowledgement. That's why what we can do is here, temporarily we can switch into asynchronous mode. In case of asynchronous mode, same thing. Whenever the user submits the changes are submitted to application server. Application server is writing those changes, submitting those changes to our production server. Once the changes are written in principal database, immediately user is getting acknowledgement. See, right? Still changes are not applied to mirror. Still changes are not applied to mirror. Once the changes are applied to principal database log file, immediately he is getting the acknowledgement. That is the reason we are calling it as a high performance mode. Means what? No need to wait till the acknowledgement comes from mirror. But what is the problem is it? Here see what happened. Once it is written, then immediately acknowledgement, okay, your transaction success. Later, these changes are applied to mirrors after some time. But here we have seen, no, if something happened here, user has received the acknowledgement, transaction success, immediately my principal database data file damage, for example. See here, data file damage is saying, but remember some changes are still there here, right? Not applied to mirror. That is the reason here there is no automatic failover. Compulsory, we have to take tail log backup, we have to apply. Compulsory, we need what? Tail log backup and apply, then bring the database online. Means what? In asynchronous mirroring, remember, there is no automatic failover. In asynchronous mirroring, to bring the mirror database online, compulsory we have to apply the tail log backup, then bring the database online. That is it. Two types of mirroring operating modes we have to understand. One is synchronous mode is there. Second one is asynchronous mode is there. Two types of mirroring operating modes. Synchronous and asynchronous modes. Okay. Always we have seen our in real time in 95% scenarios mirroring is there with synchronous mode only with witness server where we have automatic failover. Only temporarily, only if any performance issues are there, temporarily we can switch to asynchronous mode. Again, we can switch back to synchronous mode. Okay, right.